And I initially wasn't going to get a hybrid. You know, I'm not a hybrid guy. Don't want to drive an egg. I want some power. But then we drove it and I was like, oh, it's a car.
Today is Wednesday, January 6th, 2010. I'm Jason Howell.
I'm Brian Song.
And I'm Tom Merritt. Welcome to Buzz Out Loud, CNET's podcast of indeterminate length, live from the Consumer Electronics Show 2010 in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's episode 1139. Joining us is Ian Morris from CNET UK. Welcome.
Hello. Hey.
Good to be back.
It's fabulous to have you back.
Thank you.
Is this your third?
Second.
We didn't have you on at CES last year.
No,
we tried,
yes,
and
we did.
And it
Yes.
fell through.
Yeah, it was. It was a shame. Everyone's
There's a
busy.
rule there. You can't have too many people with spiky hair on stage at the same time.
Oh, right.
We don't want to
yeah.
mess up the
It's
universe.
code in Las Vegas.
In BOL world also.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, we're breaking that code, and Brian and I went to CES Unveiled, sort of a press event that they kick off 2 days before the show opens. The show isn't actually open yet. They're like out on the floor, still assembling booths and everything. Yeah. They're still assembling our booth, kind of around us as we're doing this show, and. But they already put together a press event. We saw a bunch of products. I got to take a look at that Idea Pad from Lenovo. It's a tablet that it fits in a netbook. So imagine it's like this except smaller, right? It's a netbook, and then you can just pull off the screen off. And it turns into a Linux-based tablet. Put it back. It's a Windows 7 machine.
Yeah, I thought Lenovo had some really cool things. Just overall, the design of their laptops looks a lot sleeker. They also had kind of this class of machine that they're categorizing as smart books, which are essentially as feature-rich as your phone, but with a simple interface. But it just has direct net access. It's not going to do a lot of word processing. Just Twitter, photos, pictures, just kind of the basic fun stuff you want to mess with. So it was really interesting stuff. I enjoyed theirs. Also, what else did we get to see? Popcorn Hour Box. They now have their new product called the Pop Box, which is going to be a lot more mainstream consumer friendly to not make it as kind of more of a hacky tech
competitor.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So Box and them are going to be kind of fighting it out right now. So there's a lot of great stuff. There's other stuff too.
There was you wore some goggles.
Yeah, some underwater goggles, shooting 720p video and a 5-megapixel camera.
So okay, so taking pictures of fish in high def.
Yeah, high def fish. Why not?
Hey, well, you go snorkeling.
I know, I do. I love that. I love that stuff. That was great.
That's a huge thing. I took a look at the new Power Mat stuff. That's the wireless charging, and the big thing from them that I'm very excited about is they are no longer requiring you to buy this little case thing, this attachment that sticks on the outside of your phone.
On the back,
They're going to have replacement batteries, so you just pop the battery out of your phone and put their battery in, and it can wirelessly charge on the Power Mat.
That is much more like it, isn't it?
That's the best part about that thing. It's a seamless thing. You'll never see it again. Now, the problem is there's devices like the iPhone that you can't change the battery out, so Power Mat's not going to really be able to do that yet. So,
although, I think the iPhone uses a standard battery size inside. So if you
pry it open,
get a little hacky with it, you might be able to buy a Power Mat replacement battery and stick it in there. Maybe that's a video.
Seems like quite a lot of effort to go to. Just buy not an iPhone.
But it's wireless. Yeah, I know. Could you just buy a Palm Pre?
Get an Android.
Sling also unveiled a bunch of new devices yesterday. What's interesting is that they all go along, or most of them go along, with the Sling-loaded EchoStar DVR, which is on my top 5 CES vaporware, because it still hasn't shipped. So now there's 4 more products that may or may not ship.
I find it interesting, though, that they're getting into more of the consumer electronics space, not just a Sling box now. We're talking about a monitor, a touchscreen remote. So they're really diversifying and trying to kind of build this ecosystem of Sling stuff. Yeah,
and it's all tied into Dish. But if you're a Dish customer, there's some really cool stuff that they're integrating that allows you to move all of your data or all of your video around the house, including a television, an LCD TV with Sling built in. So if you had Dish and you have the Dish DVR in your living room, and you want to add a bedroom TV, you wouldn't have to buy anything else but this TV, because the Sling would be able to bring all the video in off of the DVR.
There was a rumor that Apple were intending to do something similar.
Yeah, right. The Apple TV.
Yeah, right.
The actual TV.
But who knows?
Yeah, that rumor's been kicking around for a while. Yeah. Huh? Is that what we're going to see January 27th?
Who knows?
You think?
Oh, totally.
Yeah. That'll be the thing.
It's not going to be a tablet, is it?
No, none at all.
We got more CES coverage, of course, at ces.cnet.com than we can ever cover on Buzz Out Loud. We're just going to talk about some of the stuff we saw. There's some rumors out there, actually. The New York Times, Ashley Vance, reporting that Microsoft and HP are going to announce a tablet, the Slate PC.
Whoa,
Sound familiar?
Slate's the new word.
Today, Steve Ballmer's doing the keynote
At the keynote.
for Microsoft tonight, and the big idea is that he's gonna try to scoop Apple.
So this is interesting because there's literally been no buzz or even any rumblings that they would do anything like this. So a lot of people are kind of discussing, like, is this just a last-ditch effort for them to try and take some thunder out? How prepared are they really in launching this device, getting out there? What do they really have to show off? Because we're seeing a lot of tablet concepts already 2 days before, and we know we're going to see a lot more from plenty of other companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really does kind of seem like 2010.
But it's not really a new
year of the
thing, is it,
tablet.
for Windows tablets? They're not kind of. It's not like an innovative. New,
Yeah, that was a Bill Gates keynote speech 7 years ago, I think.
Absolutely.
At CES.
He's always believed in tablets.
Yeah.
But if this is like the Slate, right, the new modern media consumption device.
Yeah, the story says that HP is going to build it, and that it's going to be just a tablet form factor. I'm sure they'll have new Windows 7 software. It's not going to be the old tablet OS, but I can't. What's really funny about this is the state of the mind of at least the tech reporters. In Ashley Vance's post, he writes that. Let me find this quote here. Product better be good because Apple is expected to unveil its take on a Slate tablet later this month. If history holds, Apple will issue a product that surprises people in a few ways. So the last thing Mr. Ballmer wants to hold up is a Me Too device. How is it a Me Too device if Apple isn't even acknowledging that they have a tablet, much less announcing one yet?
Well, you've got to understand that Apple invented everything. So it doesn't matter when you invent it. If you did it 10 years before, they go back
Even
in time.
if it's only rumored, even if it's an Apple rumor, they've then opened the floodgates for everybody else.
It's true. The attitude is everyone's like, well, everybody can release what they want here at CS, but we'll see how it stacks up compared to what Apple's going to do at the end of the month.
Yeah.
You guys must remember when they invented the phone 3 years ago, or whenever it was.
Right? Yeah. I remember when they invented Microsoft Office. That was a good one. Google yesterday also unveiled their own phone, the Nexus One, as was expected. And wow, is this phone normal?
It's a super phone, Tom.
I was going to try to not even use that word. Yeah, they called it a super
That's their touting
phone.
their device as the super phone.
It's a freaking phone. It's a nice phone. Yeah. It's slim. It's lightweight. It's got a touch screen. It doesn't have multi-touch.
No.
It's got Android 2.1. It's pretty nice.
They were
right?
showcasing a few of the features, some 3D graphics with messing around with photos. You have a few more customizable menu screens, but nothing earth-shattering that deserved a huge press conference when everyone pretty much knew already what the device was coming with.
Yeah, like, you have to look at the people like myself and Molly, actually, who some people might call suckers for falling for the droid before this thing is unveiled two months later. But really, when I think about it, it's not like the Nexus One packs in so much that it makes me really regret the purchase. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I think what's really interesting and what seems to be catching a lot of the press here is how Google is selling this. They're selling it themselves through their own website. It's completely unlocked, even if you buy it with a T-Mobile contract. That's kind of cool.
Do we know what
the phone itself, the technology, it's not like the other Android devices aren't going to get 2.1 eventually anyways, and that seems to be most of the differences.
But
some of them won't.
And the challenges here in the States are, how are people going to react to buying a phone unlocked at that price? It hasn't been really successful up to this point when you talk about Nokia phones, where they're unlocked here, but they're around $600, and people don't jump on that. People were just twittering like, "Oh, I don't know if I want to buy a $500 phone," because that's what they think about right off the bat.
What's pretty interesting though is it's unlocked no matter what. So even if you buy it for that $175 T-Mobile subsidized price, it's still unlocked, and at the end of your contract, you can take it. You don't have to pay that extra fee to do that. So that's kind of cool.
You can't use it anywhere else.
That's
though,
true.
Can you?
I can. Well,
you can use it on AT&T with just Edge. But.
Yeah, it's a 3G, so it's the same as the iPhone basically.
But I heard that it only works at 2G on the AT&T network.
Yeah,
it's only 2G on AT&T.
It only supports T-Mobile's 3G bands, but not AT&T bands.
this crazy stuff. They need to just do one system.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And I mean, and on top
we
of that,
wish.
they have plans in the spring for a Verizon release of the phone, so a Verizon compatible version of the phone. So,
Jason, you hit on something interesting, which is the fact that they're building a store. And a couple people, our own Tom Kraz at Ars Technica, have leaped on the fact that who cares about the Nexus One as a phone? What they've done that's really interesting is created a store, and the idea behind the store could be revolutionary, which is pick your phone, and it's available on any network. They're going to, when they make their phones, they're going to make them available for every network they can. So they're going to make a Nexus One that'll work on Verizon. They're going to make a Nexus One that'll work on T-Mobile, and the Nexus One technically does work on AT&T. So the idea is that you'll go to the Google store, you'll pick your phone. They're going to have more than just the Nexus One. They're going to have Nexus 2, 3, 4, 5. And Nexus 6, Blade Runner reference. So they're going to have all these phones, and then you pick it and decide what carrier you want to go to. And then the carriers can decide if they want to give you an option to buy a contract and get a cheaper price, if they want to, or not. You just buy it unlocked. If that works, if it catches on, that could totally change the marketplace because the carriers are so into having locked in phones, but just like exclusives. This would say no more exclusives.
Yeah, I really hate exclusives. I mean, it's just such a stupid way. I know they get paid for it, but really what I want is to be on any network I want and to be able to have any phone I want. It just the idea of having to go to a network for a phone is just beyond me.
And you have to imagine that the manufacturers want that too. They want their phone to be available to anyone and everyone that wants it.
You would think
Think
they'd want it
about
as
how
far
many
and
iPhones
wide as
would be
possible.
sold at this point, if you could get it through any other carrier, I mean, it would dominate way more than it already has, just on hype alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, phone and great store. All right. Microsoft is going to show off the Courier tablet. We already talked about this, but Mary Jo, I forgot to mention that Mary Jo Foley pointed out that the HP-made tablet that we mentioned earlier could be the Courier that people have been whispering about. And Palm Pre and Pixie finally going to debut on Verizon. People have been waiting exactly a year since Palm Pre was announced last year at CES for it to come to Verizon.
And we've been talking about this on Buzz a lot. They really need to get their phone in other places. It's a nice phone, it's a solid phone, but they just need to get it out there so they can sell more units. So
yeah,
this is good for them.
I was saying earlier, wasn't I, that the in the UK, the Palm Pre, they're having to give it away with £100 worth of travel vouchers in order to shift them.
Now, is it an exclusive?
It's exclusive on O2, so same as the iPhone was. I mean, the iPhone's available everywhere now in the UK. But it doesn't seem to be selling. Which is a shame. I really want one, but it's tied into packages that are very expensive, like the iPhone tariffs, and I'm just happier on a sort of pay monthly.
I mean, giving away £100.
Yeah.
Just to jump on board.
That's sheer bribery, and I think this is too late. I think people who wanted Verizon Palm Pre have moved on, especially to the Droid.
Yep.
And I don't think. One of my top 5 predictions for the year is that we might see the last of Palm. I don't want that to happen. I actually like Palm, but I think this is too little, too late for them.
Yep. I love the Pre, but I just wish it was a little bit more sturdy. If they're going to go for the Apple user, then they need to compete with that quality of build because it's so flimsy, really. I love the phone. I really do.
I feel like whenever I use it, I feel like the keys are going to come off.
Yeah.
Like they've just been...
Yeah, they're
like
the jelly stickers.
Yeah.
They're the jelly sticker keys.
It's so sharp. You can, kill people with it. It's just, it is literally sharp enough to slice the head of a zombie.
Maybe they're just marketing it wrong. It should be marketed as a weapon.
As a switchblade or a pocket knife. Yeah.
Right. And then it would become cool, right?
Got difficult packaging.
You'd have to ask for it, show your license to buy one.
Yeah, that's its killer feature.
All right, time
Well, any premeditated murder there.
They'd have to ban it from airline use if it's that sharp.
Right, you can't have your take your Pre on international flights.
There you go.
Let's please move on to the first dedicated 3D network announcement.
This is exciting
this is big because we know we're going to see a lot of 3D TVs here at CES on display, and that's going to be the big push. And a lot of folks have said, I don't want to get a 3D TV because I can't watch anything on it. Like, why are you hyping 3D as the next big trend? So here you go. You can finally, besides watching 3D Blu-rays, watch an entire 3D network and guess who would you guess is going to be behind
I like nature. Nature looks pretty cool in high definition 3D. Who could do that?
Discovery Channel teaming up with Sony and IMAX.
What about sports?
Awesome.
What about sports?
Yeah.
I mean, I love sports.
Yeah, there's not going to be any sports on here.
ESPN.
Yeah.
There will eventually
ESPN.
be a 3D
No, I already
sports
said it.
network.
It's
You have to
Discovery,
imagine.
Sony, and IMAX. It's not ESPN.
What?
Sorry,
no,
man.
No, ESPN is doing their own too. I'm serious.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, really?
Yeah, I thought you were messing with me.
No, I was just being wrong.
So ESPN also announced that they're going to in June, which is sooner than Discovery's going to launch. Have a sports network that's going to showcase only specific sporting events. When there is nothing going on, it's just going to be dark. But this is ESPN has already really adopted technology. They were one of the first networks to really push ahead with HD. And sports is another venue where you could really see it taken off.
A true fit, and you have to imagine they've got the money to put behind, re-equipping all of their cameras. And if it's the next big thing that draws people to their station, have to imagine it's there. The first thing I thought of when I read this is, where is all that content? Like 24/7, that's a lot of 3D content.
Yeah.
But
ESPN's not going to be 24/7.
No.
But Discovery, you know what? Okay, here's what Discovery did.
I could see them
with HD when they put the Discovery HD theater together.
Yeah.
That was one of the first HD channels. They went and they took all the demo footage that had ever been shot for high def.
Yes, that's right.
And they just ran
on there.
and called it like Planet Earth or Silent Spring or I can't
Planet
remember.
Sunrise.
Planet,
Sunrise
Sunrise Earth.
Yeah.
That's
Is it fair
I would
to
watch
say
that forever.
That maybe Sony is involved in, because I know they're involved in it. So
Yeah.
is it because they want to sell 3D TVs? They've decided that 3D is the 2010 thing, and last time I was on Buzz Out Loud, I didn't like 3D, and I'm sorry to say that I still don't like 3D.
Yeah, there's a lot of barriers to it.
So I know one of the reasons is the glasses. Is there anything else?
I just really don't think it's that 3D for a start. I just think it's it's an optical trick, and it just doesn't impress me that much. I don't know. I mean,
it's not as 3D.
Is it because
as 3D
it's not
should be.
solid?
Yeah, it's because it's not being projected in front of me.
Because it's not
Right.
real.
It's not a hologram.
You want a hologram?
Yeah, I want to be able to reach out and touch it.
Right. I like 3D. I just hate to have the idea of having to put on glasses. And I
Yeah.
know is it
3M is supposedly, we haven't seen it yet, but they're showcasing 3D technology without glasses.
Ooh.
We don't know how large of a screen this technology is going to be showcased or what it looks like, but that's a little intriguing to at least see.
Very intriguing.
Generally 3D
Something tells me, though, it's just not going to live up to what you expect.
Well, that's
no,
the thing.
yeah.
Every time
Yeah,
I've
of
seen
course.
it without glasses, it's been a
Yeah.
disaster. It gives you a headache within 30 seconds. It's just
Yeah.
a really horrible experience. But yeah, that's the way I feel about it. Maybe they could make contact lenses, 3D contact lenses. That would be more awesome.
You know how hard it is to put in contacts when you've never done it before? I'll be like,
Yeah, that's true.
it would be
People
hard. It would be hard.
nationwide blinding themselves
Yeah.
trying to get 3D.
and whole theaters of people like pawing around? One of them popped out.
But 3D, I mean, 3D is a big deal. Look at how much we're talking about this. Right? It's the buzz thing right now.
It's
whether,
totally the buzz.
You know,
the buzz
whether
for the
it
year.
succeeds and does well. We'll see.
That's
But they
pretty
got to
much
pump the
all-
content out.
That's pretty much all you're going to get this week, folks. It's all buzz
3D, yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to be 3D. It's going to be netbooks. It's going to be
E-readers.
It's
gonna
large
be loud machinery.
stuff like that. Boxy actually putting together their Boxy box announced in time their first press event at CES that they will add a remote control with a QWERTY keyboard to the box. So
Nice.
the box, as we know, the Boxy box is all still the same, but they were showing off yesterday at that CES Unveiled the remote with a full keyboard on the remote.
On the
so
back
not
side
a
of it,
big
right?
keyboard, just the remote that you use to play, pause, and all of that, but flip it over, full QWERTY keyboard.
That makes a whole lot of sense, especially as we're seeing more of this like entertainment center being brought to your living room. There is still a need when you're integrating those things together, the internet as well as media. There is still the need to have that type of control. That sounds perfect.
Just typing in
ideal.
your YouTube account is
Yeah,
annoying enough for
exactly.
the TV with a
having
click,
to
click,
having
click.
to navigate it on the screen by going right, down, select. Like,
Yeah.
that's one letter. Like
Up,
that's just
up,
not
down,
cutting it.
down,
It's
right,
just
right.
not becoming.
ABA.
Everything is a Konami code. So
Yeah, it's a cool idea. Really
Yeah.
cool stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good thing. Good job, Boxy. Amazon beefing up the wireless Kindle family with a global Kindle DX.
Yeah.
As being the global citizen in the room, I point to you.
Yeah, well, I mean that's good. Yeah, it's good to see them going this way because the Kindle's just become available worldwide, but it's a faff to buy it outside the US, and so it'd be nice to see them focusing on that a little bit more and making it easier to use abroad. Really.
No, it's good. They should do it. Push it out, get it worldwide. I don't know how successful the DX version has really been,
I don't know anyone who has a DX, but I don't think it's been a failure.
And the problem is, Amazon doesn't really release their numbers. They talk about how more digital books were sold than physical books, but they won't give us a number. They won't tell us how many Kindles have actually been sold. I want real numbers to see how these things are doing. So,
yeah, it's just another expansion for them. Finally, a couple kickers here. Kama Sutra, the most pirated ebook of 2009.
Is it on your Kindle?
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't understand.
Don't you need illustrations for that?
You can still see pictures on it.
Surely the copyright on the Kama Sutra lapsed a long time ago, or is this the specific ebook that's being pirated?
That is a very good question because, it's totally a public domain. But Chris over at the Technically Incorrect blog at CNET News says the folks at FreakBits have obtained this list from someone they met on a street corner. Actually comes from BitTorrent's tally of nefarious downloads. And I guess it's the Deepak Chopra version. That's the picture anyway. I don't know if that's the actual one.
I don't know.
You
can trust that.
The second one, though, Adobe Photoshop Secrets.
Right, so that you can take what you learn. Never mind. No, let's just stop that right
Well, it's
there.
fair to say that all of the information contained in that book is likely to be available online anyway.
Yeah, I don't understand the public domain pirating. That can't be true. There must be a particular version, or people don't understand that you can't pirate something that's free legally. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, we're all right.
Lady Gaga. You wouldn't usually hear her reported about on Buzz Out Loud, but Miss Gamarati will be at CES, and that's apparently all everyone can talk about.
Yeah, it was
at our
like
party
the talk
last
of
night.
last night. Yeah,
No one was talking about the gadgets.
Everyone
was
it
talking
was just
about
that
Gaga.
Lady Gaga was going to be here. I'm like, Lady who?
And people are like fighting for I want to go cover that. I want to see her.
When is she going to be here?
Thursday at 12:15 p.m. at the Monster booth. Not that I remember
I'm
that.
gonna just give that a wide berth.
Not that I remember that.
I'm washing my hair.
I thought you were very interested in.
No.
You're very interested in making sure you're not.
Yeah.
But it's always funny at CES because there's always celebrities, right?
Yeah.
And it's always incongruous. Like you're always like, why that person?
What is the connection here?
Because
I guess with her, it's about the Dre Monster Beats headphones, right? Or
She has her own branded custom one.
Okay.
And,
Gotcha.
Didn't didn't Sony ship in Tom Hanks recently for CES last year or something?
That sounds familiar.
They do generally bring in a big name star to make people write about
To
their
make people
stuff.
scratch their heads and go, what?
I mean, what stars should they bring in? Like Will Wheaton, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or,
I know LeVar Burton's going to be in town.
LeVar Burton.
That's
that
all you
makes
need.
sense.
Yeah.
I get.
Although,
yeah.
but you know what? They don't capture the same type of headlines as Tom Hanks. Like Tom Hanks hits national. Everybody recognizes that name,
Yeah.
right? And it's a reason to talk about that name that somebody, more people might care about. But Will Wheaton.
Well, I mean, we're going to have
the
Drew
nerd-
Carey on the
nerd
CES
set.
live show, but Drew Carey is actually a geek. Like he comes to hang out and look at stuff. So,
True.
but you might not know about that and think the same thing. So maybe Lady Gaga's a total tech head.
I guess so.
There's a lot
She's
of
a
technology.
pioneer, Tom.
There's a lot of technology goes into her.
We could all learn a lot from Lady
Yeah.
Gaga.
It's so true. All right, on to the emails to buzz@cnet.com. Michael in DeLand, Florida writes, Dear Buzzers, just found a use for Wolfram Alpha. And then he writes, x squared plus 2 4/5 x squared time. You're just going to have to go look at the
It's
show
a
notes.
formula.
It's a formula. It's a long formula, but then when you go plug it into Wolfram Alpha, it makes a heart graph.
Oh, that's cute. It's pretty awesome.
That's so good. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that. Go to the show notes and BL.cnet.com
So
to
Wolfram
see
Alpha can
the
draw.
formula and then click on the link to see the heart.
That's
if
right.
You must.
James in Columbus, Ohio writes in and says, I would like to throw in some information regarding the sour grapes comment that Bono of U2 made about digital rights management. U2 made the most money of any group in 2009 doing live tours. So in this light, Bono's statement seems even more ridiculous since obviously U2 is doing despite. So obviously U2 is doing
This.
Well, maybe
this.
the word is missing.
Yeah, this despite supposedly rampant piracy. Here's the link for verification.
Yeah, but they could be doing even more better.
Oh, yeah.
Digitally, yeah.
They could be even
Plus,
richer.
Bono was talking about movies. He wasn't talking about music.
Do you know what, though?
Yeah.
I will not rest until I've wiped U2 off the face of the music scene. I really, if there was a world without U2, I think that would be a slightly better world.
So much U2 hate.
Oh,
I know,
Bono is just
it's true, but-
unbearable. That guy.
He really wants to help you.
Well, he doesn't want
Let's
to help
help
me.
you in the world.
You know, he wants to help everyone else.
All right, here we go. This email is from Cameron. Hey, BOL, a couple things I found interesting about the Dubai Tower is that the architect in charge also built the twin towers of the World Trade Center. The features to keep this one safer are mind-boggling. For example, every 13 floors, you have a safety floor where it's fireproof and the windows open, and there are elevators along the corners there so they can function in a disaster. Also, there are 135 elevators, all high-speed, taking a matter of minutes to reach the top. Have fun at CES. Love the show.
Wow, that building just gets more and more interesting.
Yeah,
Just
very
the
impressive.
engineering and technology behind it.
Yeah.
So,
I can't
thanks for
imagine
that,
how
Cameron.
badly your ears pop when you get on one of those high-speed elevators and go to the top floor.
It's
for real.
about,
Yeah.
it's bad enough here, isn't it, with the relatively small buildings? Even
Yeah,
even
yeah.
a normal-sized hotel here makes you.
This building has nothing on the stratosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to ces.cnet.com and you think you're looking at a representation of Seattle, that's the stratosphere here in Las Vegas. That's not the Space
It does look
Needle.
like it.
With the scariest roller coaster ride I've ever
Have you-
seen.
have you been on it?
I haven't been on it because I'm too
Oh, no,
scared.
the roller coaster is actually really disappointing. But you do have to go on the big shot.
Yeah, you see that?
Because that's pretty fun. You
Yeah,
gotta do that.
I think I might lose my lunch
Do it. It's fun to lose your lunch.
over Las Vegas.
Speaking of lunch, we got to wrap here. We got a bunch more CES coverage. Ian, thank you so much
Thank you.
for
Yes,
joining us.
thank
I'm
you.
glad
You're
we
very
worked out this
kind.
year. Let people know where they can follow you on CES.
Well, they can follow me on Twitter, Ian 9 out of 10, and they can see what I do on cnet.co.uk.
All right.
All right.
And we are at bol.cnet.com, of course. That's our blog where you can find links to everything we talk about in the day's show. And all our CES coverage is at ces.cnet.com. We will be doing the show live, if you want to watch it, at live.cnet.com or ces.cnet.com every day at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. So fire it up. Watch us or get it in the podcast feed as usual. There's also some special programming going on at ces.cnet.com all day long. We have a spy cam up. We have CES Live in the afternoons.
Press
That's at-
conferences.
That's at 4 p.m. all day today. There's live
true.
streaming press conferences.
Yeah, some of
We've
the
got
bigger-
podcasts all day, like Thursday, right?
Yeah, Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and Friday are just filled with live shows here from
And
the
I
stage.
believe I'm
so.
right in saying, as a special treat, on Saturday, you
Oh.
can listen to the CNET UK podcast. Being
Oh, way to get in
live.
there, baby.
Yeah, so I mean, that's
Absolutely.
one not to watch. Everyone would have gone from here, but it'll still be fun.
So there is no reason not to park your browser at ces.cnet.com and just feel like you're here without the foot pain and the dry, chapped lips. We'll see you tomorrow, folks.
See you.
Being a college student, money is always, an issue. And for me, the fact that a hybrid would be able to save me money and also help the environment out, it's kind of like a no-brainer.
And I initially wasn't going to get a hybrid. I'm not a hybrid guy. Don't want to drive an egg. I want some power. But then we drove it, and I was like, oh, it's a car.